Hey guys, this is God of Politics, and welcome back to a brand new video. But before we get started with this video, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, join the Discord that is linked down in the description, and check out the website, which is also linked down in the description. But here it is. Today is election day. I have two videos that will be coming out today. Today's first video is about the polls, and the second video is about when we'll be getting the results, which is a very interesting question that I will have to answer. But today, I will be doing the 2020 election based on the polls. Now, you've seen my prediction most likely. If not, I'll have it linked down in the cards and linked down in the description, so you should check it out. But we'll see how different it is from the polls. Am I expecting a big polling error? Will there be a big polling error? We'll refer back to this video after the election, and we'll see. I am expecting there to be a polling error. I do think that is a likely scenario, but I don't think it's going to be enough for Donald Trump to win. So I'm just going to go through state by state, seeing what the margins would be. Again, 0 to 2 is tilled, 2 to 5 is lean, 5 to 10 is likely, 10 plus is safe. So I'm going to be using the 538 average because they actually have an average for most states, and they also don't exclude polls just to make the average look better for Trump. That's what RCP does. So I'm not going to be using RCP. I'm probably not going to be using it all after this election, but let's get right into it. First of all is the state of Alabama, which is obviously going to be safe for the president. The next state is the state of Alaska, which is actually only at plus 7.7 for Donald Trump, which would make that a likely margin there. Arizona is the next state, a big swing state, which is actually put at lean Biden. This is a little bit more than what I have it at. The next state, Arkansas, is at 22. You know, it was very close for a while, but then we had some more polls that are obviously going to show what's actually going to happen. I think Donald Trump will do better than plus 22% in Arkansas. California, you know, one of the most blue states in the country. You know, Trump may not even crack 30% in this state, which would be crazy to see. Colorado is another state which is actually showing Biden winning by a safe margin. I have him winning just under safe, but safe is a very possible scenario for how Colorado could turn out. The Democrats actually overestimated the polls here, and they have done historically a similar thing across the Sun Belt. Connecticut, you know, obviously going to be a safe state for Joe Biden. Delaware, Joe Biden's home state, winning by 24 points. That's 10 points more than 2016. I guess that is something of note. The next state, D.C., you know, one of the most, or the most liberal area of the country in terms of what the vote is. The next one, which is very important, Florida, actually has Biden up by 2.5, which would be lean Biden, which would be a very interesting result to see. I don't think Biden's going to win by 2.5 percentage points. I don't even think he's going to win the state, but that is what the polling is showing. Georgia actually shows Biden up by a tilt margin. I could see Biden winning Georgia. I don't think he'd win by this much, but I do think he could win the state of Georgia. I believe that's a possible thing to do. The next state is going to be the state of Hawaii, which, you know, has already passed its 2016 turnout before the election even started, and that is going to be obviously a safe state there. Idaho, you know, that's going to be a safe Trump state. No surprise. There are no surprises for a lot of these states, to be honest. Illinois, you know, Biden will probably not do as well as some people expect. I would expect him to do a lot better in the Chicago suburbs. Maybe he'll only do a little bit better than Clinton. Indiana, barely in a safe margin, which is actually a worrying sign for the president, but I think he'll be able to win it quite easily. Iowa, a very close state, actually being put at tilt for the president. We had the Des Moines Register poll, which showed Trump up 7, but the average on 538 is still quite close. Kansas is at a safe margin, but it was, you know, under the safe margin before, but that would be quite an interesting thing to see if Kansas was like that. It is a state that's trending blue, but I don't think it's trending blue that much. Same thing with Kentucky. If Trump only wins Kentucky by 15 points, that is a worrying sign for him. Louisiana, same thing at 20 points. That's going to be a safe margin there. Maine, the Maine at large is being put in the safe column for Joe Biden. The first congressional district is being put, obviously, in the safe column for Joe Biden. And then the second congressional district, the district Trump won by 10 in 2016, is actually at lean Biden. That would be a huge swing, a swing almost as large as what it was from 2012 to 2016. Maryland, the next state that is safe for Joe Biden, another one of the most liberal states in the country. Next is Massachusetts, similar story there. Massachusetts, a very, very blue state. Michigan next. Michigan's a big swing state, which shows Biden up 7.9 percentage points. That is a huge, huge margin of victory for a state that Trump won in 2016. That's almost as much as the swing from 2012 to 2016. Barack Obama won it by 10 percentage points in 2012. Donald Trump won it in 2016. Winning it by 8 percentage points would be a huge swing back, but I don't think he'll win it by that much. Minnesota is a similar thing here. This would actually be more than what Obama won it by in 2012. I guess, you know, the Minneapolis suburbs really do make a difference. But again, I don't necessarily agree with a lot of these margins, just to let it be known. I don't necessarily agree with a lot of these margins. Mississippi going by 16, that seems about right. It's a fairly inelastic state, going by about one less to Trump than 2016. Missouri is showing a likely margin. Missouri polls are historically bad, at least going, on the last 10 years or so. So I do expect this to be a safe margin, but that is what the polls are showing. Montana is actually showing lean for Donald Trump. I wouldn't trust the polls here. They're just showing less split between Bullock and Trump, and I don't think that is necessarily going to happen. Nebraska at large, which is quite interesting. Nebraska at large is actually being put at a likely margin, which seems completely ridiculous to me. The first district, you only have one poll and it has it as lean to Trump, so that's another very weird thing. The second district is 3.8 for Biden, so that would be lean for Biden, and then the third district, you don't have any polling, but it's one of the most Republican areas in the country, more than any other district or state, so that would be put as safe. The next state, Nevada, has Biden up 5.3 percentage points, which is just on the likely margin. I think this is around where the result will be. Nevada polls actually historically underestimate Democrats. I think that this will be around on the cusp of lean and likely, probably, leaning towards the lean side. New Hampshire, a state where Biden is actually up by a safe margin right now. This is the closest state in terms of the raw vote in 2016. Showing Biden up 11 points is very, very critical for Joe Biden. New Jersey, another state where Biden's expected to improve over Hillary Clinton and in the polls by 6 percentage points. New Mexico, another state where Biden's expected to win by a safe margin. I could see him winning by a safe margin, but I think it might just be a little bit under that. New York, another one of those very blue states with its big 29 electoral votes, and you can see Joe Biden and Kamala Harris here are already almost at 270. They're at 267, and they are going to pass it with the state of North Carolina, which is tilt Biden. And while North Carolina polls do historically underestimate Republicans, I can see a scenario where Joe Biden does win the state. North Dakota, obviously going to be a safe state, but closer than some people may assume. Ohio, 0.8 for Trump, which would be tilt to Trump. I think this is a bit optimistic for Democrats. I think it'll go by around 4 to Trump. Oklahoma next is going to Trump very, very easily. Oregon next, 20 points, which should actually be 10 points more than 2016. That would be a very big win for Joe Biden. Pennsylvania is up 4.7, which actually makes it lean. But we do have a lot of Republican-affiliated pollsters in the average here, which are making a good ad because it did peak at around 7 percentage points. Now it's down to 4.7. But I do still believe that Joe Biden is in a strong position in Pennsylvania. It's probably the first swing state I actually agree with the rating on. Rhode Island is the next state, and I'm going to put Rhode Island, obviously, in the safe column for Joe Biden there. South Carolina is the next state where Trump's actually only up 7.1 percentage points. This is similar to Montana, where you have less ticket splitting between the Senate candidate and the presidential candidate in the polls, but in actuality, it doesn't really turn out that way. I don't think South Carolina is going to be that close. South Dakota is the next one. Another 3 electoral votes in the safe column for Donald Trump. Tennessee, same story, but it is going to be closer according to the polls, which is quite interesting to see. And then we have the big one here, Texas, where Trump's actually up 1.1 percentage points in the polling average. If you apply the 2016 and 2018 polling average, Biden would actually easily win the state. So that's something to note, but I do still expect Trump to win Texas. Utah, Trump actually only up 9.8, which would actually make that a likely margin, which would be quite interesting to see. Vermont, one of the most blue states in the country, could arguably be the most after Washington, D.C., of course. Virginia, a state that is used to be Republican, is now in the safe Democrat column. Crazy to see how those trends have happened. Washington is next, another 12 electoral votes for Joe Biden. He's already at 341 here. We've got 3 more states. First, West Virginia going to Trump by 28, which would be a lot less than 2016, but usually in a lot of these states that are very, very Republican or very, very Democrat, they actually underestimate the support. Wisconsin's the next one. Biden's up 8.4 percentage points. That's more than I think he'll win by, but that is what the polls are showing. Wyoming, the final state where Donald Trump is up by 31 percentage points. That makes it a safe margin. So overall, the map looks like 351 electoral votes for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, 187 electoral votes for Donald Trump and Mike Pence. This would be a resounding and decisive victory for Joe Biden. Do I think this result is going to happen? No. I think that they are overestimating Democrats a lot in some of these states, a little in some other states, but I could see a scenario where Joe Biden wins these 3 states, but not by those margins. I could see a scenario where Joe Biden wins these 4 states, but not by those margins. So we will just have to see, but it is election day. I just did want to go over the polls one more time to see if the polls are accurate tomorrow, and this could be a very big day for the polling industry, a make or break day, especially for certain pollsters like Trafalgar or the New York Times, etc. But we will see tonight. So thank you all for watching this video. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also join the Discord that is linked down in the description, and check out the website, which is also linked down in the description. So again, guys, thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you guys later.